demonstrating bravely? No? Yes? I didn't have you though. Yes, I did. Sorry, you guys changed so much. So I'm no longer a first or second grade teacher. I am a reading specialist at this point. So I work in small groups and things, but I feel like we are called on, not our specialists in our building are called on quite a bit when kids are in need of getting rid of, either they're dealing with some emotions or they just need a break and things like that. So that's one of the reasons that I came along today. I'm going to introduce yourself.
And I'm Megan King, and I didn't know how many of you, this is only my second year. So I did kindergarten last year, and this year I am the intervention specialist for kindergarten, first and second grade. So my big role is working with kiddos who are on IEPs, but then also another big part of my job is if a kiddo is in need or in crisis, I get called to help with it. So this is great that we get to be here and chat with you guys about that.
Yeah, it's definitely an authentic need, so I hope you guys are, inspired by that. I'm sure you guys can think about times when you're just have like frustration here, I'm sure, maybe not here because it's such a cool place, but like frustration with courses or just having a bad day or, things from home that come to school, and try to imagine kiddos that don't even understand those feelings sometimes. They're small. We deal with a range from, just turning 5 to kiddos that are like 10 heading into 11. So we've got quite an age range. And they're all in their own place, I would say, in being able to identify, what feeling am I feeling? How do I cope with this while still trying to keep myself under control and learn and take in with what my teacher's saying, be around classmates. So I think this will be a really great outlet for them to be able to take those emotions, those feelings, and get them out, take a break, and come back. We've had sensory paths in our building before. We had 2 that were developed by one of the occupational therapists, Pam Felix. And I think wear and tear kind of deteriorates them.
Yeah, we definitely need stuff that is durable, because even though they are little, they can be destructive. So stuff that is definitely durable and can handle a punch, a kick, a throw.
Yeah, because unfortunately we're seeing more
Yes.
of those kinds of behaviors at the younger level. Yeah. What we had before was there's like in our building it's a big square, circle, whatever, but there's more of the primary age K through 2, and then there's more of the 3-4 group on the other side. And we actually had 2 different sensory paths. And so they could potentially be, different choices or options that are maybe geared towards the younger kids on one end, and maybe more complex things for 3rd and 4th grade, even 2nd grade could go that way. We can kind of talk about some of our kiddos that we work with this year, just the behaviors they display, but then also the things that we found that helped them, I guess. So
Some behaviors that we have started seeing a lot of, if a teacher tells them no, or they just flat out don't want to do something, we get a lot of instantly, whatever they have in their hands, they'll throw. Or we've had a couple destroy a couple rooms, or a go-to is kicking, yelling, hitting,
fleeing the
yes,
classroom,
running.
that kind of thing. So I think it'll be a good thing to have a space that they know they can, go get permission or seek
a
permission.
safe space for them to go to.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we have seen that work really well with our kids, a lot of we call heavy work breaks. So a lot of our kids, we have some heavier chairs in one of our, we call it the calm area, and they'll just push it for as long as they can, and they'll be sweating, but it gets their anger out. So anything like heavy work breaks or anything that they can do. Some of our kids like little distractors, like little fidgets, suction cups. I don't know if you're familiar with like the sequins walls or anything that you can like push and it changes colors. Some of our kids like that stuff. Weighted anything has worked really well. Weighted backpacks, weighted animals, weighted just anything weighted has worked really well this year.
Yeah. I remember from one of the other sensory paths, they did have like wall push-ups and like some of those things, you know, we can utilize the spaces there in the hallway and, you know, think creatively. I know, if you needed an awesome resource, and I'm like volunteer, but, you know, Felix is an amazing resource, to know how to provide, great strategies for kiddos that have different sensory needs. So you might be able to reach out to her. I was thinking it might be nice too because our kiddos, they often need variety. So one thing will work for a while and then I've done this a lot. I need something else. So if it would be possible, if the sensory path could be manipulated so that the order could change, you know, come back from a break and let's do the sensory path. It's, you know, it's kind of exciting and the steps that we do, you know, it's varied, it's different, just even the order if possible, I think would be a good thing for the kids. Let's see.
And I think too, I'm just thinking of like pattern or like color wise. If our kiddos, a lot of them get very overstimulated. So like not a lot of pattern, not a lot of bright colors, like just something where they can go to and do what they need to do and not have to deal with like something that's gonna overstimulate them even more.
I know I've seen them where colors might dictate a movement, and maybe that would be helpful for the older learners. Like, you see a yellow, something that means you're going to jump in this spot in a certain way, or blue means you're going to move slowly. You know, just those are thoughts and ideas too that maybe color, because we, you know, a lot of our little guys, they're not readers yet, so even visuals like pictures or something to show them the movements and things that they might need. And then also I'd say like definitely if you want to think about younger age group and then the older age group. And I could imagine us like with our kiddos, you know, having them use the two different pathways as variety, but just kind of thinking about, I know we've had some that have had like Pizza Cat or like fun characters that the kids recognize and are excited to see. So maybe they work through their path and then there's like a special character that is kind of the payoff at the end. Our thoughts on this so far, and definitely ask away if you need more input.
Do you guys have questions for them about your design capability? How did you say the hallways were set up, like grade-wise?
Yeah, so I wish I had a map for you, but kindergarten and first grade are pretty much in the front hallway. There's a short hallway and then a little bit longer space that we've had before, but K1, or in one area, but second grade is kind of in the middle and you can walk down, and then 3 floors on the other part of the building.
How many kids do you foresee using this at one time? Is it a single kid who goes out and takes part in it, or does it ever groups? What does that look like?
So from what I would say one at a time.
Okay.
Just especially with our little guys, they can get kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna come out here and play with my friends.
That's what I wondered. Okay.
So yeah, one at a time. I would say.
Yeah, and I think the older kids, I think they've been taught and they might be able to, I know some of the 4th grade teachers will say, I need to take a 4th grade lap or something, and they'll just take a lap. So I think that, you know, as they get older, they might be able to have the option to go and use it on their own.
and maybe I can provide a little bit of clarity as well. I didn't give a ton of background to my class yet because I was waiting for the kickoff. But I want you all to think about it in this way. So each class is responsible for a different part of this design challenge, okay? So mental health, you're responsible for all of the research and like what kinds of sensory path objects you would recommend we should make a part of this design. Does that make sense? So you're really coming in with like, this is like the colors we should use, or this is some of the objects that should be there. Does that make sense? Like you are our go-to people for that aspect. Advanced STEM Math, you are going to be getting the dimensions from Raymond. They'll get them to us, right? And we're gonna be designing in groups parts of each hallway as to like taking mental health research and figuring out how big is it going to be, what material might we be able to use, what color, like really giving us like an actual picture of it. And then we will then report to Fab Lab, and each person in Fab Lab is going to be responsible, hopefully, for taking our sketch, right, and making it look more professional, giving it a quality that could potentially be installed at Raymond Elementary. So Advanced in Math is not going to use the technical tools. It's going to look kind of like a mess, and y'all are going to be in charge of cleaning it up, okay? And making it look very professional. And then hopefully the goal would be that we can all go to install and see the effectiveness. So if you were kind of like, I'm not seeing big picture, that's big picture, okay? So from one to the next to the next. But go ahead with your questions. I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
So one question that our principal had was, once things get rolling, if you guys could put together like a little presentation and maybe come to one of our PTO meetings and present it, because we're gonna see if PTO will kind of partner with us on the payments.
Got it?
Another question is, if we have a timeline. I know that this
I
is
have a timeline.
perfect. And then her last question, do you guys have any rules on how to use the sensory walk? Maybe it would be a cool thing if we like created a video after it's all done to show the kiddos like, this is the right way, this is the wrong way, we want to do it like this. That was just a couple things that Erica
Absolutely.
had mentioned.
Those are great points. And I think we can pull that resource together, maybe teams like some people from mental health, some people from advanced STEM math, right? I think we can just pull those that are willing to be a part of that video and part of that presentation and available for a PTO meeting. I think that sounds great. I truly think that this isn't something that's going away. We have sensory stuff at our building right now. Some people sitting in this room right now struggle with the same exact thing that our elementary kids are struggling with, but you have words to vocalize that, and they don't yet. So I think that this has absolute power, and it's going to become bigger as we continue to evolve as a society and think about mental health in a bigger capacity, right? So I think that this is an opportunity for us to really learn about this, but also give back to our elementary kids and give them something I mean, my kids talk about the calming corner more than anything else, and they're in elementary school, right? So maybe have that kind of sort of empathy right now as you approach this design challenge, because I think that's going to be a big part of this. Does that make sense? Any questions that came up as you were listening? Before y'all leave today, I have a handout. And so this handout has the standards that each class is going to be measuring this on. So this is not just something we're doing on the side, it's all being measured in each class. It also has the calendar as subject to change. If we were to potentially have another snow day, we will alter that calendar. However, as of right now, we're going to be here for the next few weeks, every single day, and we're going to try to get this to you by the early February. That's our goal. So mental health, can you correct me if I'm wrong? I know that Mrs. Brown has been out, but she's been telling me that you've been doing research in this behalf, right? I knew that had started last Thursday, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so mental health, I had, and I'll give you this, but I had that, I changed it a little bit based on the snow day on Tuesday, but I had that I would really like you to finalize research and be able, during your block, fourth block, to email my class by Monday. Is that too soon? She thought that was great, that she kind of approved that.
Monday or Tuesday?
So my class meets second block. That's the harder part of this entire thing. Fab Lab and mental health both are fourth, mine is second. Does that make sense? So that we can negotiate that a little bit, and then advanced STEM math would start next Tuesday, and then potentially get everything by the following Wednesday to Fab Lab, and Fab Lab would then work from there. Okay? That is the goal. So before y'all leave, I would like you to come get one of these handouts that tell you the standards that are being measured and the approximate calendar. I think if you also have any specific questions for you, can you come and talk to me about it, and then we'll go from there. Does that make sense in that regard, in terms of logistics?
And guys, the really cool thing is the local newspaper is interested in running an article on all this and having it featuring all of you guys at the end of this and giving some pictures of the school and what you guys do. So people in the community really care about this. This is a really cool opportunity for us to represent our school and just represent Marysville and yourselves really well. So just kind of put that in the back of your brain.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Can we thank the two teachers that came in today to present to us, please? Thank you very much.